Hey guys, my name's Ben. I'm from SafetyRestore.com, and today we're going to be doing a review of whatever is inside that garage. Now the trick is, I honestly have no idea what's inside that garage. So it's going to be an unbiased, exactly what a 20-year-old thinks of whatever is inside that car. Let's go. This is pretty cool to review. I think we'll give it a whirl. Got the car out of the garage. First thing, the color. I mean, Ferrari red, you cannot beat it. The wheels on this car are silver, but they're like a gunmetal silver, so they stand out. The one thing I will say, I love that hood scoop on the car. Now, the front doesn't really do it for me. It really doesn't. I feel like they could have went a little lower, made it just a little bit better of a car, but in these conditions in New England, it's perfect. Just because, look at all this clearance you have. You're not gonna hit a speed bump and lose, like on a Huracan, you're gonna bottom out everywhere. Lights are beautiful. They did a great job with the lights. Now, the side of this car, it looks like a Ferrari. There's nothing you can say about it. You don't notice the front, you don't notice the hood scoop. You notice the huge wheels, Ferrari logo, and you got these beautiful vents. Now this vent beats anything. Anything you see on an M5, everything you will see under $100,000, this car will beat it. Well, that's because this car's over $100,000. The black mirrors, nice touch with the tan interior, you really can't beat it. Let's say you're driving behind this car, you roll up on it, you know it's an exotic. There's carbon fiber all over the license plate. I mean, this whole rear diffuser is carbon fiber, and look at how beautiful this is. They did such a good job. You literally have something that Ferrari probably did take from their Formula One cars. The rear diffuser is beautiful. I love the vertical exhaust. Every other car, horizontal. This looks like something off an LFA. It's beautiful. Taillights, they don't really do it for me, and I'm wondering why they actually wrote Ferrari on top here and not over the horse. Don't get it. But other than that, it's a beautiful back end. I mean, I love the back end of this car more than the front. I really do. Obviously with the tap down, it's gonna look a little sportier and everything. But other than that, I mean, this is a beautiful, beautiful rear of a car. This is worth 100 grand just because of that rear. The front doesn't really do it for me, but that back is absolutely gorgeous. You're gonna notice it. I mean, the detail is phenomenal. They really did take the time to just make this car beautiful. And this is my first time looking at it. Imagine, anybody looking at this car. They're gonna love it. They're gonna think it's something exotic, and you're definitely gonna break a lot of neck. Now in a minute, I have the keys right here. We are gonna take this car for a spin. Just to wrap up the outside of the car, pros and cons. Con, I don't like the front of the car. I love the hood scoop. Lights are beautiful. The rims definitely need a little bit of work. The rear of the car I love, and I do love the color. But that's honestly it. The front really kind of ruins the car. It takes a little bit out of the value. They could have made it just a little more sportier, Ferrari. The only thing I would fix is just that front. Other than that, I'm just ready to drive this car. Let's go for a spin. Feels like you're kind of driving maybe like an M3 or an M5. Does not feel like you're in a Ferrari until you do that and you start hearing those Italian horses and you just can't stop but smile. I mean, if this car doesn't put a smile on your face, you're doing something wrong, or you have a lot more money than this car's worth. Alright, yeah. Now when you open this car up, oh my God, you know you're in a Ferrari. This is no BMW. This is none of your Cadillac. You are in a Ferrari. Also, you're breaking everybody's necks, so if that's what you want, if you're a little bit of a show-off, this is the car you get. Do you have to worry about these little things? Like, I mean, this is obviously, the buttons are gonna break, they're gonna scratch off. Just me trying to find the AC. I've been in the car for 10 minutes. As you can tell, I'm sweating. I have no idea how to turn on the AC. Ferrari did not do a good job on that. They could have made it a little easier, or like everything else, put it on the steering wheel. Have no idea how to turn on the AC, so right now we've got the windows open. What's different in this car, it's like a Saab. You open it right here. I'm surprised you don't put the key in here. Now the exhaust right here in this tunnel, let's hear it. Okay, yeah, you can't go wrong about that. You really, there's not much you can say about that. The car really does its own right there. Now, the sound, like I said before, amazing, but what is Ferrari doing with the interior of this car? The leather, yeah, it's amazing. A lot of cows died making this, I get it. But what are you guys doing with this 2006, Nissan Maxima looking GPS? Literally, the gauges on this thing, everything ugly. Also, the gauges on the actual car itself, the RPM and the speed, I really like the RPM gauge, but the speedometer is so ugly, and I honestly can't even tell how fast I'm going because it looks like I'm looking at like something off a boat. Also, I have some kind of light sensor sensitivity. Don't even know what it means, doesn't explain it, and I don't know how to change it. So obviously Ferrari didn't do a good job of that. Everything kind of seems tacky in this car. It seems like Ferrari really focused on the other models, like the 458, the LaFerrari, and they're like, you know what, we have this car, let's keep it going. Throw some, just throw some stupid crap in here and get it over with. And your average, everyday, Ferrari customer is gonna say, wow, this car is amazing. But really, is it? You're paying this much money, you're paying over, I'm guessing over 100 grand for this car, and it really doesn't feel like it. Other than the sound and the pure performance of it, it just does not feel like $100,000. You think you're gonna get in this car and it's just gonna blow you away, but it really doesn't. And I'm sorry to say that for some of you that already have this car, but it really does not feel like that. Looking up, this looks simple. I've driven in some BMWs and Mercedes that have nicer, everything is nicer in them. The center console is a little cleaner, a little more futuristic. But maybe Ferrari wasn't going for that look. They were going for that older, classic Ferrari Italian look. One thing I really do like about this car is they kind of bring Formula One into it. As you see, the design, they even have a Formula One sticker. I can see it from here. Something about 31 world titles. That's really cool. It lets you know you're sitting in a high-performance car. But why couldn't they make it look like a Formula One car? Why couldn't they make everything a little more futuristic? Maybe a heads-up display on the dash, because I'm 5'11", and I'm sitting in this car and I feel tiny. I literally feel like I'm sitting on the floor, but my feet are scrunched up. So it's like, what did they do with that? If I'm sitting this low, why couldn't my legs extend out more? Why are they scrunched up like that? Maybe it's a safety thing, or maybe they just really did not care. Now, my honest opinion to conclude this, 0 out of 10, I'm gonna have to give this car a 6. And I'm sorry, Ferrari fanboys, but it's only because of the interior. If you blindfolded me and didn't tell me what car I was in, I would think I'm in a, maybe a 4 Series, maybe even an M4, maybe a Mercedes, but never would I say a Ferrari. Never would I say a $100,000 car. The reason I say that, other than the way the seat grips me, I don't know I'm in a sports car. The steering wheel, yes, it feels great, but it kind of feels tacky and like, I don't know, it could be a lot better, it could feel better. Responsiveness of the actual handling of the car is good, and that is why it has that 6, is because the engine, everything else sounds great. The color on this car, I would give a 10. If you're buying this car for your wife, or you're younger, you're an entrepreneur, you just want to have a flashy car to show the world, hey, I'm starting my own business, I'm making money now, this car is for you. It stands out, it's beautiful, it sounds good. But if you want a luxurious, exotic sports car, no, I would definitely not take it. You're never gonna get the responsiveness and the feeling of maybe like an Aventador or a Huracan. You're just not gonna feel it with this car because it's kind of cheap inside. And I'm sorry, Ferrari, I hate saying that because I love Ferrari and the 458, everything, an amazing car. But you did cheap out on everything here. People could tell you they hate it. I could tell you I kind of don't like it. But if you have a Ferrari, you can't really say much because, your average everyday person is not going to have this car or even see this car. So when you drive by them or you're trying to make an appearance, you really are going to make an appearance. It just stands out. It's a beautiful car. The interior, if let's say someone does not know cars at all and they get in this car, they are going to tell you this is the sexiest interior in the world. So don't take my advice for it. I know a little bit about cars, so I can tell that this interior, they did rush. But if you have a girl in here or someone who doesn't really know much about cars, now I know a bunch of girls who do know about cars, and they would say, you know, I've been in Mercedes that are nicer than this, like an SLS. An SLS is a beautiful car. How does it compare to this? I would honestly say I would take the SLS over this. Maserati GT, no. I would not take a Maserati GT over this. Every Corvette out there, hell no. I'm almost positive this isn't the turbo version. I can't hear that turbo spool. Like, we're gonna give it some gas right now, and you just hear pure acceleration. This is just a pure, you know, naturally aspirated engine. There's no turbo. So if you're looking for a turbo car, this isn't the car for you. You know, you're not gonna hear it. I'm almost positive they do make a turbo version. You're gonna pay more, and you're still gonna get the same interior. So do you really want it? That concludes our review of the Ferrari California. Now, I love this car. I really do. Everything I said, yeah, the interior could be worked on. I love the color. The actual performance of the car is amazing. It really is. It's something that you just feel like you're an Italian. I mean, it's awesome. I love it. The rims, I would definitely replace them. Also, I would usually keep this car probably with the roof down. I don't like that cramped little feeling you get when you're in this car. And the rear seats, absolutely no point of them. Like I said before, my name is Ben. I'm with Safety Restore. Visit us if you want to get your blown seatbelt repaired, SRS airbag module reflashed after accident, or you want to change your webbing to, let's say, Ferrari red. We can do that for you. Please visit us at safetyrestore.com.